All right, testing, testing. Testing, testing. Hmm. F. Oh, that's a delay. All right, it's working. A little fuzzy. Okay. Settings here. All right. Testing volume. Testing volume. You guys will just have to bear with me. This is the first time I've ever streamed, so who knows what's going on. I'm just kind of winging it. Got allergies. I got my mute button handy. Currently listening to myself talk, so we'll have to fix that. Sounds good. The delay is like 2 minutes. I have it on a second monitor here. Okay. All right. Sorry, every time I change settings, things minimizes. Every time I click on my second monitor, apparently. Okay, let's try that. So the whole point of today's live stream is I've never done it before and I want to try it. And some of you guys on YouTube in the comments and also on Reddit in the official forums were saying that you'd like to see me like build the power grid design and stuff. So um, I don't know. We'll see how it goes. I wanted to show you guys how to build it live. This will not be obviously as to the point and such as normal. I'm going to try to do it unedited, whatever. If I don't like the live, then I'll just won't post it, and I'll put something else up in its place that serves the same purpose, so that at least people have something to see. Right here, see building the transformer flippers and stuff, and the power grid. So this is my Oasis base. I played on Oasis to see what it was like to try a whole bunch of random stuff. What you see here may or may not work. It may or may not be a good idea. Um, this is just a base for me to experiment. It hasn't died or anything. I just got bored. So I'll be, and I've been playing Call of Duty lately, so whenever I come back to Oxygen, I've been playing Call of Duty for about 2 weeks. I'll just start another base, because that's what I do, because that's fun. So, if anybody, oh, first of all, go over here. So, on Reddit, Mr. TKP42, you're the guy who finally prompted me to do this. You combined with XIZAR. I have no idea how to pronounce you guys' names, or if even they're supposed to be pronounceable, but there you go. You two were the two who finally prompted me to do this, so we'll see if you watch later. Alright, I'm going to pull this up on my second monitor, pull up my thing. I don't know how to display. There's chat. Well, we'll see how that goes. My second monitor is not new. It is small. So basically, I'm done with this base, and I figured, screw everything else. Let's put in something that can show you guys how to make the transformer flipper and the generators connected to it for the regular wire power grid that I came up with. So I think I'm just going to take some petroleum generators. Yep, I got petroleum source. I think I'm going to put in some petroleum generators and maybe some coal. We'll run it as a backup. I got some wood burners here. If I remember right, there is no lumber anymore. In just a little bit. What do we got? So hopefully I have my cough button for coughing. Hopefully I don't accidentally mute myself and then talk for forever muted. I was afraid that was going to happen. So one thing that I've noticed, I'm going to get distracted too. One thing that I noticed is that smart batteries in liquid seem to be okay until you reload the game. And then it's like, oh, by the way, we're in liquid. Now we're flooded. I'm going to flip you. Out our smart batteries, please. Might not even drain enough. Off. This is my petroleum builder, by the way. My heart of a petroleum boiler. This cooling solution, not ideal. Again, it was a test. One turbine did not work. I ended up having two, and then I just kind of, well, I fit it in there. Going to build petroleum boilers, we need this to work, and this is not working. We'll come back to this. If this is broken, we'll have our guys come in here and clear this out. Or I'll just move the... whatever. Okay. If anybody has anything in the chat, I will try to read it if anybody ends up watching. But I tend to hyper concentrate, so I may ignore you too. Let's just see. So my general thought is let's build a couple petroleum boilers, we'll build a couple coal gens, we'll put a transformer flipper for the petroleum, for the coal, we'll set them to different values, and then maybe we'll cram some slicksters in there because as you see I got quite the CO2 problem because Oasis is weird and I was not prepared to ranch hatches, or maybe I stubbornly refused. There's no difference. So then I just burnt all the lumber until I got some petroleum, which of course is CO2, and some other stuff going on. Oh, for anyone curious, this is the hydrogen setup. It's still running. There's the automation. There's the power. Oh, for anyone, I guess, who's out of the loop, I'll have to drop a link in the description, or maybe I'll put up one of those cards or something in the corner, definitely at the end, with a link to my Heart of a Build series for the my power grid, which uses regular wire, except this is Oasis, and it's got the trait for, I think you mouse over this, yeah, metal pour. So like, I'm flooded and irregular oil. So I'm flooded in lead, and I don't have much of the regular metals. So this can be regular wire, but right now it's conductive wire because that's what my map dictated that I had materials for. But anyway, today we will be building this, and this is how you can use regular wire and run it all over and feed all your consumers and everything with that. So you use two batteries here, and they toggle back and forth. So one's on, the other one's off. And we'll do this. While one's on, the other one's off. And what they do is the one controls the switching. So, oh my gosh, I just realized you guys don't have my mouse. I am sorry. I apologize. You will only get the little square overlays. I forgot about that. That's a bug. Not my bug. It is. I had tried out a workaround and it didn't stay. And I didn't try it out again. So sorry about that. This one right here, just to the up and left of the overlay. Like I said, this is my first time going live. This battery here controls the two and controls whenever they get power. So at 80% turns on, 90% it turns off, and has the other one charged. So they're hooked up to the grid. You can see them toggling. This line here is the main power grid, which typically would be heavy watt, but in my design it is not. It's regular wire, or in this case conductive, because I have lots of lead. So these batteries will alternate which one's charging. This one just flops between 80 and 90%, which is consistent. Sorry, consistent with the other ones, the other transformer flippers that we'll do for the other generators. And the idea is that it keeps a constant toggle, and it's in sync enough, within reason, of the other ones, that then this battery's charge, one over here, is a representation of the charge in the system. This would be similar to the smart battery that you would hook up to your generators and a standard heavy watt power grid. Now, if you have no idea what like the typical heavy watt backbone, heavy watt power grid thing looks like, I got a video on that one too. Card at the end, video card at the end of this video, probably link in the description or something. But you can go check it out too. That would be in, I think it's in my miscellaneous oxygen playlist. So this battery right here, oops, this one, controls the generators. It tells the generators when to turn on and off. And it is representative of the power in the system, very much so like your smart battery that you would use for a heavy watt backbone. So let's look at his setting. His setting, in this case, is 80 to 90. You would set it just like you would with a heavy watt backbone. These guys are getting hydrogen from my electrolyzers, which I know I don't have an SPOM, SPOM, whatever you want to call it. I don't care. I like to do it this way. I know it's not 100% efficient. It doesn't matter to me. I like it this way, and because I do it this way, I feed my power right back into the grid. So this battery tells the generators when to turn on and when to turn off, and as you can see, they're a little bit resource starved at the moment. They're not a full pipe of hydrogen. Doesn't matter, that's fine. Battery's keeping them on. There, shut them off because it got full enough. So they pump their power right back into the grid. Now, because these batteries are toggling, these two transformers cycle the power around. So they cycle it. They'll push it into this battery, and then whenever this battery is discharging, they'll push it over into this battery, and they'll keep cycling. But they'll also feed stuff on the grid. So we'll have multiple of these. We'll have one of these transformer flippers per set of generators that you want to turn on, just like you would have a smart battery. So smart battery for each set of generators with a heavy watt backbone. Okay, so these things are going to help keep the charge going through these batteries, because if a battery is on the same side, like battery to battery, they don't give each other charge. They don't balance out. Now they charge and drain. They charge and drain equally. So if these two were connected and I charged them together, they would charge together. They would have the same charge. If they drain together, they would have the same drain. Oh, what's flooded? Still smart batteries. But batteries don't charge each other. So I need the transformers there to constantly pass charge through this battery so that it can constantly balance. Because if you didn't constantly, if you only transfer charge as needed or something, this one will get really out of whack. So we can't do that. So we just constantly just keep the charge moving. So these help keep the charge moving, but then they also give you a little bit of boost charge. So like right now, these two aren't running, or they're just sitting there, whether they're not called for or it looks like they're out of fuel, they're not running right now. So these will provide 2 kilowatts of power if something demands it. Now, the way you get charge out of this wire, because this wire can, you can hook as many generators to it as you want. When I tested this, it was, I believe, 240 kilowatts. So like this is 2 kilowatts potential load. I put 240 kilowatts on it. That's because generators don't overload wires. Neither do batteries. Excuse me. If you want to learn more about that, I have a video on that too. Overloading. It should be in my How Does It Work series. So we can put as much power as we want in this wire. So to get it out, there's a good example right here. We use a battery flipper. I muted myself. Okay, to get the power out, we use a battery flipper. This looks a lot like transformer flipper because it is a transformer flipper without transformers. And quite frankly, a transformer flipper is a battery flipper plus transformers. So this one's really, this one's really easy. One battery with a NOT gate. That's it. It controls all the power shutoffs. So power in, this white one's power in right now. You want to, so for the battery that's controlling them, you want the input side gets the straight signal from the battery, okay? The battery outputs red or green, that goes straight to the input power shutoff for the controlling battery. The NOT signal goes to his output, the one that goes to your consumers, okay? And then you use that signal and run it